Motivation. Why do we lack it and what can we do about it? Okay, we're gonna jump right in. I have a couple people that are joining this recording live, so as they're getting ready to jump on, let me just introduce myself and get to the point of today's recording. My name is Dawn Luckowitz. I am the owner of Epic Redemption Coaching. I'm the co-founder of The Clear Planner, and in my coaching, in my training, in my work with busy women, entrepreneurs, people that are looking to make changes in their fitness and nutrition, motivation comes up time and again, over and over again. And we beat ourselves up because we believe that we lack this motivation. We believe that motivation is something that we have or don't have. And I want to share a little bit of the psychology behind motivation and then talk a little bit about what we can do about it. All right? I hope you're ready to dive in. So the first reason that we might be lacking motivation is we don't have a clearly defined why. Now, Simon Sinek coined this whole idea of starting with why. You need a compelling why, a reason that you're doing something. What is the why behind your brand and your story? But I want you to really think about the things that are important to you, the things that you believe that you're lacking motivation in, and what is your clear why? I love the example of standing on top of a very tall building, right? And the next building over, there's a tightrope, right? Joining these two buildings. And they're high. I don't care how high you want to make that building. And somebody dares you to walk across it. And you're like, I ain't walking across that, right? And then somebody offers you $100 to do it. And like, unless you're a daredevil, you're probably thinking, no, I'm not going to do it. Now, when somebody offers you $1 million, that might compel you to figure out a way to get to the other side. But if your child, spouse, parent, best friend is on that other building and it is on fire, you are going to get your butt across that tightrope. Nothing's going to stop you, right? Your motivation is so much higher to get over there because of why, because of the reason to get there. Okay. And so whatever it is that you're looking at, your business life, your fitness and nutrition, your relationships, when you want to improve that or make changes, you need to figure out why. And it has to be your why, your reason, something that's compelling to you. That's first and foremost. When our why is not strong, when our why is not clear, it's really hard to stay focused and motivated long enough to see any kind of changes. The second is we are hardwired to resist change. We don't like change. Our psychology, our bodies will resist it, right? When we form really strong, solid habits, good or bad, when change is introduced into the mix, we don't like it. We resist it at all costs. And so it's that idea that if you're trying to start something new, you need to create that new habit that's going against whatever it was you might have been doing before. Now, it takes a long time to create those good habits, and it takes a long time to see change. And here's the next thing that gets in the way of motivation. It's impatience. We are human and we are impatient beings, and over time, we have become more impatient. We are in this instant gratification culture. I got frustrated because I ordered something on Amazon and I couldn't get it the next day. It was going to take me 2 days and I freaked out. It wasn't even anything that I needed, but we're so used to getting what we want really quickly that when it takes time, it frustrates us, it struggles us, and it demotivates us. It takes away sometimes that excitement about what it is we're trying to do. So we need to really understand our clear why, right? We need to know that our body is going to resist change and that it's going to take time to instill new habits. The average, you hear a lot of times it takes 21 days to create a habit. The average, the research that I've read over and over again indicates that the average is like 66 days, okay? So that's 66 days of creating a new habit before it starts to stick, and that's the average. I don't know about you, but I'm like not in the averages. For me, it's probably like 90 days. So we need to be able to stick with something long enough. The other big reason that we struggle with motivation is we have this focus on restriction. Suddenly we focus on the things that we like quote unquote can't do, quote unquote aren't going to be able to do, how we're being restricted from something. And that focus demotivates us. It's thinking I'm not allowed to eat X, Y, and Z if I want to lose weight. It's if I don't work out, I'm going to gain weight or I'm not going to lose weight, right? It's when we focus on that restriction and we focus on that negative that it plays with our psychology, and it's going to screw up that whole way that we think. It's going to screw up that whole way that we approach motivation. So what do we do about it, right? Now that we know some of these pieces, now that we know kind of why we're unmotivated, we need to change that. So the first is identify clearly what is it you want, right? First, we need to know what the heck is it that we want, and then why is it that we want it? Most women will say, whether they need to or not, most women will tell you they want to lose weight. I want to know why. Why do you want to lose weight? Okay? Now, when you answer that question, pretend that I am a 2 or 3-year-old who's just learned how to talk and start asking questions, and I ask you why. And then you give me another answer, and I ask why, and why, and why, until you get deep to the heart of it. Right now, I've got about 7 pounds that I want to take off. Well, that I kind of need to take off. I feel a little bit fluffier. I'm uncomfortable. My clothes don't fit as well. But honestly, I haven't done anything about it because I don't have a good reason right now. I've been kind of lazy. I've been kind of comfortable, and I'm not ready. Now, come the end of the year, it's becoming more of an issue to me for some more compelling whys. I don't want to buy new clothes. I hate shopping, and I'm at the point where if I don't make a change, I'm going to have to buy new clothes. My business is fitness and nutrition. If I don't take this off, that's going to impact my income, right? My earning. Also, I might want to get out there in the dating world again, and I want to feel comfortable and feel better about myself. And I know that when I am about 5 to 7 pounds lighter than I am at this point in time, I feel the best I am. But today, in this moment, I just had Chinese food for breakfast. It was a late breakfast, so it was like a brunch because I don't have that compelling why. So we need to first figure out what do we want and why do we want it, right? We need to focus on the couple things as you're identifying. What do you want? I want you to then get really clear, who will you be? Okay, so go through this exercise, go through these questions. I'm going to repeat them. How will you show up differently and how will you feel? So as you're getting clear about what you want, I want you to answer these questions for yourself. 1, what do you want? 2, who will you be when you get what you want? 3, how will you show up differently? How will getting what you want help you show up differently? And also, how will you show up differently to get what you want? Play with those. And how will you feel when you get there? So instead of just saying, I need to get in shape, really clarify it. I want to start exercising 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, because I want to keep up with my kids, go hiking with my friends, and feel more comfortable in my clothes, right? Get crystal clear on that. That is going to increase your motivation. Start using empowering language. Stop with the I can't, I don't get to, and change that. Instead of saying, I can't eat that, right? You know that there are certain things that you're not going to be eating or certain choices you're going to be making as you are, whether it is your fitness, nutrition, business, whatever it is. Instead of saying, I can't eat that, I choose either this instead, or I choose not to eat that because I'm choosing this. Give yourself power. There's power in what you're doing. When I was an athlete in high school, my ultimate goal was to get a college scholarship. That meant I could not get injured, right? So everything I did, everything I didn't do in high school, as far as my athletic career, was around that goal, around that vision, around that want to get my college scholarship. So there were a lot of things I didn't do. I didn't go to parties because there was a guilty by association rule, and I couldn't take a chance of being caught at a party, whether I was misbehaving or not, because there was a zero tolerance. I, for goodness sakes, didn't even go bowling because of the chance that I might pull a muscle or get hurt. But it wasn't that I couldn't. It's not that I wasn't allowed to. I chose not to do one thing for the betterment of something else. And when you use that empowering word and those empowering words, it changes your mindset. It flips that script a little bit and it compels you and propels you forward. So I want you to start using more empowering language. Stop focusing on the can'ts, the not allows, the shouldn't, and start focusing on the choosing and the things that you get to do. Start with small freaking changes. Where I see women struggle when it comes to anything, but particularly in health and fitness, it's trying to change everything all at once and not being able to keep up with it. Think about how many habits you're trying to change at one time. How are you possibly going to be successful? If you're trying to suddenly work out 5 days a week and you're trying to completely overhaul your nutrition and you're trying to start adding water daily and you're trying, once you start accumulating all these things, how are you possibly going to keep up with all them? But start with a couple small things that you can do, things that you can gain momentum on. When you start to see progress and action are going to build, that's going to generate more motivation, right? You get motivation by doing the small things, seeing the progress. So start with small things that you can change, that you can get consistent with, that can become habits. We talked a little bit about how our body, right, is like hardwired to resist change. When you build that habit enough, right? If you haven't been working out, but that's something that you're trying to start doing, if you haven't done it, your body's resisting change and fighting you on starting your workout, right? But when you get to the point that that is a new habit for you, your body is going to resist the change when you don't work out one day. I've been working out now regularly, 5 to 6 days a week for about the last 7 years. I'll work out when I go away, not because I have to in order to maintain any kind of level of health and fitness. I do it because I don't feel right if I don't. My body doesn't like the change of not doing something. It's so used to that habit. And so we want you to get to the point where whatever that habit is, that it's so ingrained in you that your body's going to resist that change so that you do the good things. You need accountability. Whether it's a group of people or a friend, or maybe you're using the Facebook world to say, I'm doing these things, and you keep yourself accountable. That accountability also creates some added motivation. I have a lot of ladies that keep each other on track and accountable with our fitness and our nutrition. I wake up in the morning and I don't want to get out of bed and I see my sister's already worked out. 4 other ladies have already done hard things, and that motivates me to know that I need to get up and I need to do that, because not only can I, but because I owe it to them. I'm not just accountable to me, but I'm accountable to others. And when you have that layer of accountability, it just increases so much more the probability that you're going to be able to achieve success. And the last thing is focus on the things you enjoy. When it comes to fitness and nutrition, focus on the foods that are good for you that you like the most. Don't start eating a bunch of stuff that you don't like because somebody else told you that it was healthy. Now, you may need to try some things that you don't like as much, but focus on the stuff that you do enjoy. When it comes to working out, if you absolutely hate running, don't flip and run. That's insanity. Now, there might be some things in fitness that you need to do that you don't absolutely love, but if you focus on enough of the things that you do love, those other things you'll be motivated to get through. I do not enjoy cardio. I just don't. I would rather lift weights all day long. But when it comes to knowing my health and knowing what's best for my body and my mind, I know I need to do it on occasion. And so because I focus on all of the things that I love so much, when it comes to those days that are a little bit more cardio focused, I push through and I keep going because my why is very clear. My reasons are clear. Where I'm trying to get is very clear. So when it comes to motivation, understand the psychology behind it, right? Understand you need a clear why. Your body is going to fight you to try to resist change. We are impatient beings, and we need to start focusing on, not focus so much on restriction, which as humans we are inclined to do. And then how do we overcome it? We identify clearly what we want. We use more empowering language. We work with small changes first. Find some accountability and do the things that you enjoy. I hope this was helpful in some way. If you're catching this live in the Facebook group, let me know your thoughts. If you are watching this in replay, please do a little hashtag replay. Give me your biggest takeaway. Tell me where you struggle the most. I want to know where you struggle the most so we can dive a little deeper, kind of dig into that. Now, if you're not catching this in a Facebook group and you're catching this recording on some other form of media, I would love for you to connect. I will make sure that whichever form of media you're watching this, there is a link to reach out so that we can talk a little bit more about your goals, talk about a plan for success moving into 2022. If your struggle is fitness and nutrition and you're ready to make changes, I want to offer you the opportunity for a free one-on-one consultation call, transformation analysis. On this call, we dive deep into what are your goals? Why are they your goals, right? We figure that piece out. We look at what's worked in the past, what hasn't worked, and why. We then take it the next step and try to figure out what are some of the roadblocks standing in the way of your success. And then the last part of our call is coming up with a plan and a strategy for you to see success. If that's something that you know you need or could use at this point in time, make sure you connect with me. If you're in the Facebook group, that's going to be in the comments. Again, if you're watching this somewhere else, there will be a link for you. But yeah, I hope and pray that you get really clear on what you want, that you go into this new year focused, intentional, and ready for big things. Hope you have a great day.